wears red and black tonight. 15-0. The Dogs have done it and won a second consecutive national.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Not again.
Flea flicker to get the night started. Downfield looking for Godwin. Into his hands. And guess which Dogs are barking first? Uga, get after it.
Sonny Michel will send the Dogs home to the championship game.
And Bobo throws that thing in the end zone and
yes! Touchdown! Touchdown in the goal line!
Sigue Ringo, corta dentro, Ringo, touchdown! Georgia! The Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory. Georgia, as the fight song says.
This is our love for each other. 1 + 1 = what? 3. We are better together and we are connected.
This is Robert Iron E. Singleton, a.k.a. D-Dog from The Walking Dead, or Alton from The Blind Side, and you are watching Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. All right, guys, go Dogs, sick 'em.
Georgia on the logo.
What's going on, Dog Nation and Respect the Hedges family? We're in here for another episode of Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network, man. Listen, we're coming off of a tough loss, but the Dogs are still in this thing, man. Still can make it into the playoffs. So let's get this thing started. As always, y'all know we brought to you by the Tailgate Kings. That's right. That's right. That's right. We in here for another episode of Respect the Hedges, man. Listen, Dog Nation, hey, ain't no time like the present to come together and support the Dogs. We got a big one coming up. Must win on Saturday. Listen, we are trying a new platform here, so y'all, hey, listen, bear with me because I be producing and hosting and commenting and debating and arguing all at the same time. So we got a little bit more bells and whistles out here, but we're going to bring the fellas in and try to go ahead and get this thing on popping, man. Let me go ahead and bring up our first guy, man. Listen, for the newly initiated, man, former defensive back at the University of Georgia and double dog baseball player, it's our guy, E-Rob. What's going on, E-Rob?
Hey, what's up, Coach? Yeah, we got all these new things moving around here, but I got to make sure I know what's going on. Look, man, it's been melancholy around here in my house, man. The dog ain't, it's been kind of quiet. Well, like nobody talk loud. I'm kind of pissed off. But look, man, I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see. Well, I want to hear what the guys got to say about last night, last weekend, and then really what we're gonna do next weekend.
Right.
And really, more importantly, what is Kirby's message to the team? Like, how do we get out of this funk that we're in? So I'm really interested to see how he goes about managing this kind of where we are. And, the biggest game of the year is coming up. So I can't wait to talk about it. Can't wait to see how we perform.
That's right. That's right. Good opening by Double Dog, man. Let's bring in our other Double Dog, man. Former wide receiver, Shawty Parker, and track guy. What's going on, Shawty Parker?
Gentlemen, what's happening? What's happening, man?
Hey, man, another week. Respect the Hedges. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm kicking as high as I can be kicking. You know what I'm talking about?
It be like that after a loss, right?
Yeah, man, it's rough, man. After going back and watching a little film, I know we're gonna get into it, man. And it's just, yeah, it's easy to pick out, and blame after a loss, So I'm gonna try to keep it level-headed, and let's get into it, man. Cause we got to go on to Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get game over with.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna spend a little bit of time talking about last Saturday, but you're right, Shawty. We got to get on the Tennessee shift the focus. Let's bring in the coolest fan in the land, side guy, Cool Cal. What's going on, Cal?
What it do, man? I'm like E-Rob up here, man. I'm trying to figure out what we got going on. We got a new studio, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get it all figured out. But it's cool, man. I'm like everybody else, man. I'm disappointed. We'll talk about it, man, and just try to figure out how we can get better going forward.
Hey, that's all we can do, dog. That's all we can do. Hey, listen, man, we got our guy JV coming in. What's going on, JV? He was down there in Oxford, former tight end at the University of Georgia. What's going on, JV?
Hey, what's happening, fellas? I see everybody's taking a high road this evening. To keep from getting our emotions washed away and us skipping another preview, dealing with the post view. So, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I ain't feeling none of that shit. I'm just gonna tell you that I was highly pissed off, and I probably ain't ever really been as disappointed as I was after a loss because we really just laid down and got our asses whooped, and that's just the bottom line. But here to talk about it and here to talk about what we got to do with Tennessee, man. I'm ready to get it going.
That's right, man. Bring up the last but not least of our panel, former wide receiver, Corey Allen. What's going on, CA? You muted, CA.
Yeah.
I see that's technical difficulties. I'm trying to get it together over here.
Well, you done had you a few over there, ain't you?
Not yet. I'm
Got the
lying. I
whole
got them
creature
lined up.
comforts
Hey, bro.
collection.
Shout out to Creature Comforts.
I'm just saying, y'all got to know how to treat the sponsors right, man. I get out of there with a nice little party pack every time I leave. Shout out to Creature
It's that
Comfort.
kind
But
of week.
it back to life, Coach. Back to reality. I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm in my soul to soul. Got to keep on moving now, baby, because that was ugly last week, man. Remember the good old days of nitpicking? That shit is over with, man. We got real problems. We got real items to address on both sides of the ball. So yeah, here we are, and we got a lot to discuss. So let's get into it.
That's right, man. First and foremost, like CA said, like he's doing in the background, I want to give a shout out to Creature Comforts for always putting on a good venue for the fellas
Yes.
to do our live pregame show, man. That was the last of this season. Hopefully, we'll work out some things and we'll be back next season at Creature Comforts. But definitely shout out to Creature Comforts for putting on a great venue, man. So let's get into some of these comments. Let's see. Y'all already know who up first. It's our girl Shelby, the first lady. Go Dogs beat the Orange out of
Go
Tennessee.
Dogs.
Our girl Susie Dickerson is in here early. She said, "Go Dogs!" Coaching the guys, what's going on with the offensive line and the receivers is still not getting separation. Is it the coaching or the players just not running the right routes? We're gonna talk about it, Susie. We're gonna get into it. Orlando Ferguson, what's going on, my guy? Say, let's go. DGD's in the building. We appreciate you. We got let's see. First lady say, I just need the receivers to catch the damn ball. No diddy. Chandra in the building. She said, yes, ma'am, and go Dogs. That's right. Respect the Hedges photographer in the building. Say, go Dogs. E-Rod, where is that dashiki? Lance B in the building. Say, go Dogs. Time to bounce back. Thinking about that game makes me want to curse, but I'm sitting in this church parking lot right now. Hey,
That's the best place to wash away your sins.
right, hold steady on them, Lance B. J Dog in the building and say, go Dogs. It's ugly right now, but we can get it back this weekend. That's right, we can get it back this weekend. So, hey man, it's just all listen, what they say, it's a safe space, man. Just go. We're gonna let y'all let me get our guy JB back in the building, man. This is a safe space. And where did we lost our guy E-Rob? Oh, they say it's his frames per second too low. Oh Lord. E-Rob gotta figure it out. So hey man, it's an open flow. Cool Cal. You can start it off, though. We can talk a little bit. Like I said, we're gonna talk a little bit about last week. We're not gonna take the whole show. I know our fans is like, please don't take the whole show. But then we can talk about it. Go ahead, Cool Cal.
I'll just keep it simple, man. Listen, man, we had 186 passing yards. We had 54 rushing yards. That's garbage. I
Right.
mean, we can't throw the ball. We can't protect. We can't catch the ball. Offensive line is this got to be probably the most least physical team that we've had since Kirby's been here, and that includes his first year. The guys I just don't see that. Just don't see that want to. That
Yeah.
somebody that just wants to go grab somebody, choke them up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this thing turned around. Maybe we just don't have that kind of guy or those guys this year. And it's apparent on the field. I mean, that's a garbage effort. You know, we talked a lot about Carson Beck. We talked a lot about Bobo. But what I'm saying is just as an offense, the whole thing is just not making sense. The play calling has not been great. We can't catch the football. We can't run the football with consistency. When is the last time we've seen our backs be able to get to the second level clean? We rarely see that.
Mm.
And then when we do have time and we do have the plays dialed up, you know, we're scared because we don't know if the receivers are going to catch the ball or if somebody's going to miss a block. And we just are just that much off from breaking a big play. But I feel like we've been saying the same thing all year. It's been consistent and it came out, you know, tenfold on Saturday. I thought we looked extremely soft, just like JV said. We looked like punks out there. We didn't look like we were a championship caliber team. Great thing is we still have a sliver of hope left, and hopefully we can get things turned around this weekend.
I'm with you on all that, Cal. Bad execution. Shawty, JV, you can jump in. E-Rob say the new platform keep kicking him out.
Hey man,
Still trying to
listen, I'll just jump in
capitalize on
real
that
quick,
placebo
man.
vision.
Man, I'll jump in real quick, man. I was down there in Oxford, man, and I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm just gonna let me just say this about Ole Miss, the Grove, and that scene is everything that everybody's ever told you that it was. It is wide open and live. Now inside of that stadium, we were extremely wide and extremely shallow. We had no depth to anything that we were doing. I ain't gonna reiterate everything Cal said, but I'll sign on to everything that Cal said. And you know, what I'm saying, you know, you walk away from a game like that asking a lot of questions. I don't know if the play calling is bad because the play is so bad. As a play call,
Uh-oh. Hey,
Uh-oh.
man, y'all.
screen at 6 yards. Say what?
We got you back.
Oh, I had faded
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
yeah, fade
I
out a
must
bit.
be. I need to feed the hamsters around here too, man.
That go E.
Um, but yeah, man, it was just bad. You just had nowhere. You really don't know where you can turn to say we can fix what we saw Saturday in an efficient manner because everything just looked really poor.
Right.
Deep and on the defensive side, let's not leave those guys out. It looked terrible. 7-8 yards between a receiver and a defensive man in the zone being able to cover him. It was just terrible, guys. Um, I'll be interested in hearing what you guys got to say because I sit there and watched it in the rain. At least you guys were dry, and I just ain't never. I've never been like I said. I've just never been as disappointed. And I'm saying I've never been as disappointed in watching my dogs play.
Shout in CA, y'all jump on in there.
I say E-Rob, if you probably turn your keep your camera off, that'll probably say it free up some space. But
Yeah, let me
with that
tell.
being said, man, you know, I don't want to beat down on us too bad, but I'm gonna say this right here, man. We're not playing consistently good enough on either side of the ball for a significant enough time, right? I'm asking this question that I used to have to ask some years ago. Like I don't know what our identity is. We're never good enough on offense long enough. We're never good enough on defense long enough. And to JV's point, I've watched the film. I'm not mad at so much some of the play calling because when you dial it up, there's no execution. So I think a lot of and I know a lot of we don't have a lot of explosives. We're missing a lot of explosive when you're talking about Brock Bowers and McConkey. But if I seen those other guys make plays, we're just not making plays right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't. It's enough blame to go around everywhere if you watch the tape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean I don't want to call out any individuals. I don't know if we got time for that. We're gonna move on to Tennessee or what. But I mean I got plenty of notes.
No, hey, yeah,
Hey,
man. It's like, hey, man, we got about a good 15, 20 minutes, about another 5, 10 minutes on it. Y'all can, hey, man, we can
I was
talk
just
about
going. I wanted to ask the panel. So I know we tap dancing around. We saying maybe the play call is not that bad. I've heard some different things, but what I'm saying is, and I'm just gonna stick with the offense. We're not a great passing team. We don't catch the ball well. We don't run the ball. We don't block well. Um, Quarterback play is atrocious this year. Maybe the play calling is fantastic, but what I'm saying is a complete meltdown of the offense. From where we've been, and so where does the blame go for that? Like I feel like it's everybody, but who's the most to blame? Is it the OC? Is it Kirby? Is it we just maybe the players that we have this year just aren't quite good enough? What y'all think?
I think it falls on the OC, unfortunately. That's my dog. I love Mike Bobo, but it is what it is when you got so many parts that are not functioning worth a damn. Offensive line, all that talent we got in the room, no dominance. Running backs, we got more walk-ons and third string guys getting snaps than anything. Wide receiver position is a rotation that we still can't identify with any consistency down the field, short game or anything. Unfortunately for me, it does have to fall on the coordinator, the guy calling the shots, putting together. I like the play calling, but the execution is so raggedy. What the hell we doing during the week? Why can't you get this right? We ain't doing nothing new. These are the same plays that y'all have been practicing, yet we look like shit on Saturday when the lights come on. We overrated. That's what hurts. I mean, you can go across the board. Ain't nobody performing up to what we had expected coming into the season. I don't have one player performing to the level of expectation I had coming into the season. Freshmen, I don't count them because I didn't have an expectation. Nobody
right.
else has stepped up to what I had expected. So I think it unfortunately falls on the coach, but it does identify every player per position.
Right. I'm in there with CA, man, unfortunately, because that's where the buck stops is coaching. I think Mike Bobo deserves what CA's saying, some of that. I think Kirby deserves some of that too, because he's the man that oversees it all. But this is my problem. I don't have. I'm like CA. I don't have a problem with the actual plays. I got a problem with him having a feel for the game and calling the plays that he's calling. I think we've all watched this. I don't have a problem with screenplays. I'm one of the few dog fans that don't have a problem with screenplays. But we've watched these screenplays not get blocked well all season. As a coach, I'm not going to keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. So as a coordinator, you have to call something different. Yes, if they block it well, it'll be a first down, it'll be a touchdown. But we haven't. We 9 games in. We done seen this story play out. So we know these dudes ain't gonna block. We out here getting folk killed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so stop calling that particular play. It's not that one play, but that's just an example. And then on defense, uh JV was in the stadium. He's seen it up close and personal. We saw it on TV. Jackson Dart was obviously visibly hurt. He could not run, but yet we still was sitting back in the zone rushing for. I mean, I watched some Devin Bellamy, one of our great pass rushers from the past under Curtis Boy. He did a film breakdown. Same thing. You gotta put pressure on the guy. I can't expect, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we ain't got no Kamari Lassiter's out there, but even when these dudes playing good, like you just Jackson Dart is good, dog. We got to put some pressure on the guy, and I think that's coaching. I do think we miss Will Muschamp on the sidelines on Saturday to make those adjustments. That's just
That's a quick question, Coach.
yeah. What's up?
Listen, I'm a huge Georgia offensive fan because I think over the past, 4 years or so, man, we've really thought that we turned the page.
Right.
But as an offensive coach, when you can't even do you can't even have a 3-step drop.
Right.
At that point, and you can't run the ball, what are you relegated to as a play caller to be able to get the ball out of your hands, get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback? What are you relegated to? Coach, I sit there and watch number 4 work over 71 like he was
Oh God.
like he was a pit bull on a ham bone, bro.
Yeah.
It was ridiculously embarrassing what
JB,
he was doing
Right.
to that guy.
JB, and they put your boy Oscar Delp over there to help him, and he got obliterated.
Hey,
Ran by
listen,
both.
Still,
look,
right.
but that too, a play where the running back is supposed
Did
to
the
be
sound go
given
out?
No.
a play. Hello, can y'all hear
We
me?
good. Yeah, we good.
Oh
We
yeah,
good.
a play where ETN is supposed to be given the tackle help.
Yeah.
He gets in the way and trips the tackle up, and he obliterates the quarterback. Like, what is going on?
No, we didn't look prepared. You know how we talk about we always, even in the bad game, we look prepared. We didn't look prepared at all. You know what I'm saying? And like Shawty said, like you said, execution, I with it. Our offensive line, and I know some people, I've seen some social media people and some of my friends talking about the offensive line recruiting and all that stuff. Listen, man, Tate Ratledge, I must say he ain't 100% because he was getting beat in some one-on-one situations, like straight to the quarterback, like Ole type stuff, like just giving up Carson Beck on the platter. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the whole offensive line. It didn't matter, like you say, Ernest Green. I don't know. He took a severe step back this year. Like last year, he definitely held up his end of the bargain, but this year, he just get worked by anybody that can do a speed rush. He gets absolutely worked. There's no need for no moves or nothing, no counters. Just
there was no
right.
mystery what number 4 was doing off that edge.
Right. I'm like, Jesus. I mean, no, like, I know last week we we piled on Beck a little bit. He had the best game, but I'm like, dude, this Saturday, he didn't he look up and he like you say, I guess that's why we are calling screens. It's like we can't block nobody. We can't block DBs. We can't block defensive ends, tackles. Ole Miss is good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, Jesus, tell them a story or something. Keep them occupied longer enough for, you know what I'm saying? So we something. It was definitely ugly. Defense, again, I do think a lot of that was coaching, but even when we was in the right situations, we got to be able to come up with the ball, man. We got to have some more turnovers, something. I don't know. We got to figure it out because it ain't gonna be more of the same this weekend.
Hey, this is an elimination game for us both, and they gonna come in here with their hair on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that, man. Some of these comments, y'all can see them on the screen. We're trying something new. Coriano said it's not Bobo at all, but I do think it's a few guys that should be on the field over what's out there. Just a lot of missed reads, in my opinion. I'm gonna tell you, I know we got a lot of talent on the sideline. I've been seeing some of that on social media too. I don't disagree with you, Corey, but if we can't block, I don't care who got the ball. If we can't block, I don't care who got the ball. You know what I'm saying?
And that's part of it too, man. What's kind of concerning is, especially from a defensive standpoint, like the amount of separation that they had that entire game really concerned me. I saw a lot of people trailing. It's like people just maybe not knowing what they doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They really attacked, and I talked about they attacked our linebackers, Chambliss in space. CJ Allen, as good as they are in run defense, I think teams are trying to really expose him in the passing game. Like I'm always seeing him getting trailed, and they just really attack the middle of the field where those linebackers are, and that's concerning, man. And it's a copycat league, like you said. I think we'll see more of that against Tennessee.
Right, and I think that's why Chris Cole been getting so much playing time because he is more athletic. He can play better in space. Shout out to we got us a Vol fan in Fred Amit. I hope I said your name at Amit. Amit. Hope I said your name right, Fred. Appreciate you showing up. He says that they expect balls to use the tight ends a lot this weekend. Says tight ends to play a factor. Tennessee runs a bunch of 2 tight end sets. I'm figuring because like Shawty said, I was watching CJ Allen just trail everybody, dog. I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing here, dog? Like, I don't know. It didn't look good. Let's just say that it didn't look good. E-Rob is in the comments. He says the O-line got to step up. The 2 things we had confidence in coming into the season are underperforming: O-line and QB. Let's see,
They gave them
J-Dawes.
a lot of credit by saying underperforming.
Right. J Dog said the media started to ask about the QB change, but we don't have nothing behind Beck either. Listen, I can tell you right now, Beck is like Cal said, he hasn't had a good year at all. But Saturday definitely, I ain't saying he was a fix, but he wasn't the problem. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, he definitely wasn't a problem, but he definitely
he didn't help the
he didn't
situation.
he wasn't help either. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
He wasn't a big help in the fight. He might have been standing there, but he wasn't throwing any blows.
Right.
You know, he wasn't coming back with no punches, no kicks or
Well,
nothing.
I will say he did try, but
No, it's
we
hard to
drop
throw.
it,
Yeah.
dog. We drop the ball or we throw it, and then somebody fumble. Like I mean, I'm just saying, like
Like
even when he did throw a punch, he couldn't land one because there's always somebody else holding his arm or something. You
think
know.
about the stat, guys.
Hey, Shaw,
Everybody
your
saw it.
mic sounds low too, brother.
Just think about the stat, man.
There you go.
Everybody saw it, man. 27 drops, leading the FBS. Come on, man.
So, well, let's see. Hey, you got anything else before we close this out? And move on to what we can do against Tennessee.
Nah, man. I see my boy Coach Robinson in the chat asking the same question about are we going with anybody besides Big, and Kirby made that clear just the other day. He gonna die on that hill. I don't think he plans on putting anybody in besides Carson Beck. I think that's one of the things that Bulldog Nation might be most surprised by. We have competition at every quarterback, at every position. It seems like every week, and that helps to dictate playing time, except for the quarterback spot. I guess you win that job in the preseason, and it's no longer a competition. And right now, we got to ride this ship out. So that's just it is what it is.
Right, right. Yeah, I think this is one of those things. We don't have anybody, in my opinion, behind him to put in. I know some people want to give him a try, but Kirby did, like CA said, made that he listen. He made that definitely clear that Carson is our guy, and that's how it's gonna be. So, hey, we can complain about it because that's your right to, but you already know it ain't changing going forward. So, let's get into some of this Vol talk, man. Listen, I think JV said it or earlier, or maybe or CA. This is an elimination game for both of these teams as far as the playoff is concerned. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
we got to get in there and and do our thing. Listen, I got personal public service announcement, and JV will know what I'm talking about when I start. Listen, man, they trying to Barstool and the Spite Squad is trying to rally the fans to do all black in the stadium. And then we had the old negative Nancy come in on social media and say, "Why should we do that when we always get beat down or something like that?" Listen, man, if you don't want to wear black, don't wear black. Don't be just show up in whatever you got to show up in. We lost to Alabama once or twice in black, and now everybody think black is some superstitious thing where we can't win. But you
We
know,
done already
It
also
don't matter.
smacked
It
some
don't matter
teams
what
in
color
black.
we wearing
right,
when we
right,
play Alabama.
right, right. We done lost to Alabama in red, white, black, gold, some great.
We just got beat in traditional unis and scored 10 points, and we on here
Right.
feeling terrible about it. So yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just hey, that's one thing I say. As fans, these players, whether y'all like it or whether y'all know it or not, they come in there, they get some energy. You can, as a player, you get energy from your crowd. If your crowd ain't got no energy, and maybe the blackout, whether it's black jerseys or not, the blackout in the stadium, maybe it gives them energy. I'm looking for whatever we can get because I'm tired of the losing, to be honest with you. And I know it's only 2 games, but that just under Kirby, that's only happened like once couple times. So it's not something that we
Hmm.
used to. So I'm trying to look for a spark, however we can do it. Now, when it comes to the dog offense, Cal,
Yeah.
give me a dog advantage over the Vols. If you think about the whole season in totality, you're gonna have to.
Dig deep.
Boy, I'm digging.
Dig deep,
Boy,
Cal.
that's I'm about 8 feet under right now. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it.
He said 8 feet.
Uh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say the advantage that we're gonna have to have is, to me, it's probably going to have to be coaching, and what I mean by that is we're going to need some clever play calling. I think we're going to have to keep them off balance. I think that that's our best way. I don't think that our offensive line, from what I've seen from Tennessee this year and us, that we would just be able to hold up against their defensive line. They get after the passer well. They defend the run pretty well. So I don't see any type of advantage there. But I think if we can dial up some plays, maybe keep them, like I said, off balance, I think that gives us the best opportunity to go out there and win the football game. From the games that I've seen, they're a pretty good tackling team as well. So I think that we're going to have some extra effort plays, maybe get some plays where, like we said, on that perimeter, where guys are going to have to hold their blocks so that we can maybe get some explosive plays and not try to go down with methodical drives the whole game. I don't think that that's going to work either. And I think we're going to need to have at least 2 to 4 very explosive plays in the game that's going to, be able to get us over the hump.
I think that's a good call. That's the way to dig deep, Cal, coming through with the big time play when we needed it. Coaching. I think we can dial up some really good plays. We just got to execute. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think we just got to execute. So, JV, give us something. If we execute, let me put it that way. If we execute, give me something on offense where we can take advantage of Tennessee.
I think that if we execute,
Right.
I think that we can take advantage of Tennessee. On the inside of that defense, man, possibly with these tight ends. I mean, we still have athletic tight ends. We need to be able to use them against the smaller DBs and against linebackers. I mean, they do have a stout defensive line, but that inside passing and running game is what we need to be able to execute because we need to give Carson some help.
Right.
we got to give Carson the ability to be able to not have people breathing fire coming around the end and the edges and up the middle. So, I need my tight ends to, number one, not only step up in the passing game, but be adequate in this blocking game, which all season long has been a question. I mean, they've been sporadic at best. So I need those guys. That whole room needs to come to the table and show up because we need you. We definitely need you.
Right. I think the blocking on the edge, if you can't do nothing, that's kind of like in basketball. You can effort ain't you ain't got to coach effort. You know what I'm saying? I think we can block. If we can't do nothing Saturday, we gotta block. You know what I'm saying? And to help Carson out, if we can block on the edge and we can block like whether it's tight ends, whether it's receivers, if we can block, I think that'll help out a lot. CA, what you want to see from these dogs on Saturday if we can actually execute?
I think it'd be nice to take advantage of the home field environment. Maybe try to use some tempo against Tennessee,
Ooh, I
because
like that.
that defensive line does have the tendency to get after the quarterback. But if we can keep the same four on the field and try to get them tired early, keep Carson maybe with a little movement in the pocket, give him a chance to have some off-platform throws. We're going to have to be effective in the run game some type of way. So being we got to be we got to disguise how we run the ball, whether we do it in three receiver sets or however we decide to come out. That'll be up to the coaching side. So I want to see us try to wear that defense out early if possible. I'd love to see if Carson is ready to take the helm, give him the ball, let him maybe go no huddle a few
Mm.
plays early in the game, and figure out what Tennessee is trying to do by freezing their personnel on the field. So we can try to take advantage of it. See if we got this veteran signal caller and what he's got left in the tank. Continue to coach him up and try to put our offense in a position to use up some clock because Tennessee is explosive on their side.
I like what CA saying, Shorty, about going no huddle. Maybe that takes some of the thinking away from it and help the execution. You think from an X and O standpoint, if we come out that way, because Tennessee do got a good front seven, but they can be gotten that back end. You think that'll help us?
I mean, I don't really necessarily have a problem with the no huddle, but my main thing is right here. If we want to get Carson back some help, the best thing we can do is be able to establish the run. Let's get this running game going. Let's maybe try to go right out at them, do some ping and pulling here, and what I'm saying, maybe not so much zone. Let's try to maybe go at them, and not only the running game that'll keep their offense on the sideline as well. But I'm gonna say what I said last week. If we're gonna throw the ball right now, I think Carson is really having an issue with his trust in his front, and he maybe if he's already a timing kind of guy. So let's get him outside the pocket a little bit. Just give them a little bit more option. Just try to flood one side of the field, coach. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like what you see at one level, second level, third level, throw the ball away or run it. You know what I'm saying? Let's maybe simplify this thing a little bit as opposed to keeping them in the pocket, just trying to keep them as a drop back passer. And the offensive line is not holding up. He's seeing ghosts and forcing the ball in bad places.
Maybe a little bit of tempo with when we don't go tempo, we run it, we getting Carson out of the pocket, mix it up, and keep these guys on the field. As our Vol fans said, just like Georgia, Vols hadn't been able to get that running game established like they like to this year either. So give me some key players, JV, on defense who got to step up this weekend, man. We're gonna need them because this is a do or die, as you said earlier.
Hey man, listen, I need that defensive line to step up. If the philosophy is gonna be to play with the guys that you got up front, then I need the guys that's up front to make an impact to the game. If we're gonna not be effective, then I need these linebackers when they blitz to actually not run up the back of a defensive lineman, or at least show me that you can run through a running back on the offensive side. I need somebody
Right.
in that front seven to make a difference. Just a piece of a difference, because we are just out there at this point, and teams, I feel like they have no respect for anybody that lines up in that front seven. So that's who I need to show up.
I like that. Cal, you second that motion. You got somebody else on defense, key player that might need to have an extraordinary game, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think anybody necessarily has to have an extraordinary game. I just think that we need guys to play to their potential just across the board. I think if the guys play to their potential, I think that's plenty good. But the problem is we just haven't seen it consistently enough this year. We've had some times where the offense has early on in the season, especially where the offense has looked really good. We've had some times where the defenses look fantastic, look like the best defensive nation, a la Texas. But then we also have games like we just had this past weekend. We've also had games where we've given up big chunk plays in the second half of the Mississippi State game. So I just need guys to go out there and be consistent for 4 quarters. And I think that we can, because Tennessee, contrary to popular demand, they actually do have a pretty good running game this year. Their passing game isn't as strong as it's been in the past. And I think that, we can put Nico into some positions to potentially where he can get some turnovers. We can start to hit him. I think that'll be key for our defense. Really amping up for this game. Let's go out there, get some turnovers. Let's get some sacks. Let's get some pressures. Let's not let him get comfortable back there in the pocket, because if they got the running game going, Nico comes along and complements with the passing game, it's going to be real hard on our defense.
Yeah, for Vol fan Fred gets in and says Vol's weakest group is the O line. I think he says he thinks that's where Georgia has the edge. I will say that going into this past game, that's kind of what it was too. But if I don't, my key player or key position is the DC and the staff. I need them not to sit back in zone and just like Nico can throw the ball, man. He's an accurate quarterback. I don't need him be able to sit back there, cherry pick, tell a story, get up, go get something to eat, and then come back and try to throw the ball, because I don't care who we got back there in the secondary. We're not going to be able to cover that long. And that was a lot of what was going on last Saturday. I need them to dial up some pressures. Like we saw in the Texas game, we saw some stuff. I mean, Glenn Schumann was in his bag. I hope he didn't use it all up, because we're going to need some of that on Saturday. Shawty, what you got on this Saturday on the defensive side?
Man, I really need us to play fundamental football. I don't want to see people, I don't want to see the defense getting gashed like I saw last week, and it's almost like people being out of place and misaligned. That's my main thing. I don't know what's going on. Like we say, we practice this stuff all week, and you come out there, and it's like these guys have 5 and 7 yards of separation. Something is not right. That's what I don't want to see. And again, you can't let a kid, like, this is a young kid. He hasn't seen much. We got all these 4 and 5 stars. Put these guys in situations where they're going to have to be on the island curve and make the young boy make quick decisions and live and die with it. And then if he get rid of it so fast where you can't get to it and you sit in the house, then you make an adjustment in your coverage. because you still got to throw it quick, and they can't be number inside or outside. And you let your athletes play.
That's what they do to us.
Right, I'm with that. CA, what's your thoughts on the defense, my guy?
Linebackers, just like Thad
Mm.
said, this is a young quarterback, but what continues to kill us is a quarterback with mobility. I mean, it just happened to us with Jackson Dart. It continues to happen. Any good quarterback that
Hawk.
knows how to use the legs, we got to make sure he's not effective outside of that pocket. So I want 13 and 11 to really step back up into the fold on defense, but I also want my middle linebackers to eliminate some of that action over the middle of the field, whether he's dumping it to the tight end or just scooting up the field for short first down. So the defense has its challenges. I think JB did a good job covering the majority of it. It's a front seven conversation. I think that was also mentioned here in the chat. Shout out to Corey Arnold and Coach Rob. But yeah, we definitely on defense have to make sure we limit what Nico does outside of the pocket. And in the pocket, it's going to be up to us to create pressure, with that front four whenever possible.
Fred gets in and say he thinks the ball's the key on Bell, thinks he's the best playmaker for the Dogs. I think we thought the same thing, Fred. The problem is we don't feature Bell. We throw it to Bell, but we don't feature Bell. Like, I feel like Bell is somebody, and I think the whole panel feels the same way, that can get it done from multiple aspects on the offense, but we don't feature that guy like that. So I don't know if the Vols will have to key on Bell, to be honest with you. I think they're probably going to key on Arian because he's the guy that we traditionally have tried to get the ball to a lot this year. So
That's a you know what that's a great point. Like, why haven't we? Like, why haven't he gotten a few touches in the backfield, especially with some of our running back depth issues this year? Why hasn't he gotten some more touches, some more creative plays? This year when he's proven that he can do that in the past. That's actually a good question. I think that we need to be asking, especially how we struggle offensively this year.
Cal, I've been saying it for the past 4 5 weeks.
I don't know. I don't know what they see during
I didn't hear you those other weeks, but I hear you today, brother.
You ain't hear me saying he should be the number 2
Yeah, I
back.
did. I did. No, I
yeah,
have, but I'm just reiterating the point because
right.
again, we've had another loss, we've had another
There
game
you go.
where he didn't have that type of impact. So I'm just trying to again reiterate the points that you did make earlier. Is like, why haven't we featured him more?
Right. What's going on, Derek? Appreciate you getting in. Appreciate everybody getting in on YouTube, on Facebook as well. Appreciate that. Sitting here talking Tennessee coming to Athens. It's college game day to take on the Dogs, and we're talking preview here how the Dogs can get over this hump, get this win, and still be in the playoff race. I feel like if we get this win, we should be in. I know we got Georgia Tech coming up at the end, but I don't see us, if we can get over this hump, losing to them either. Fred says he thinks Nico is underrated. I think he'll play well if healthy. I think everybody knows Nico is a great quarterback. I don't think that's the problem. I think he just, like you say, whether it be health or the O-line playing bad, he hasn't played like the Nico we thought he would play, like kind of like, not as bad as Carson, definitely not, but not the Nico that everybody thought he would be.
I have a question to the panel, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. When you're just looking at the numbers, they are better. We looking at the numbers. They're better offensively and defensively better team than we are.
Right.
They only have one loss. They rank higher, right? Are they ranked higher?
They rank higher.
Yep.
Well,
Now they are.
and
Yeah.
and even we at home. I know we at home, but why are we 9, 10 points supposedly better than them? Like, what says that we're better than them?
I think it kind of, just my opinion, I think it kind of leads to what Vol fan Fred said, that they are questioning Nico's health. And I think sometimes the point spread, when you play an opponent every year, sometimes the point spread for Vegas could be, and I ain't no Vegas expert, but it could be a little bit depending on what you normally do against that opponent. You know what I'm saying? So like Tennessee's only beaten us one time under Kirby, only like 3 or 4 times since 2002, 2001 or something like that. So I think some of that kind of plays a part in it, but I don't know. Your thoughts, Cal?
No, I think you're spot on. I think that the past plays a lot into the present. When we look at it, I think the perception around the country is obviously, we've been the best program in the country for the last, 3, 4 years. And although we may not be as good this year, I think that past that past has built up a lot of credibility into this year. Because it's like this year we still come out, and I think that people when they see Georgia, we think maybe it's 21 Georgia until you actually play us, and then be like, oh well,
Mm,
we just I just think from the past is kind of
damn.
like what's got it to this point.
Tache.
That's what it is.
Oh, you may see
I mean, you
it.
gotta think about it. We beat Ole Miss last year by 30 points, and then we came back this year and lost by 18. Like we were still favored going into that game.
Right. That 21 made you have some throwback memories.
I
CA.
mean,
It
hey
hurt, man.
man,
No, it's
that
the
was a good
truth. It's the
year.
truth. I agree with Cal. A lot of we getting a lot of the you know that love that we would complain about a team like Alabama in 17, 18 might get. You haven't proven it, but now they just believe in you because of your track record. We've got to go out here and prove it again. I don't want that. I don't want that fake love. That's fake love, man. I agree with All Nation. Yeah, we got to prove it again. We need to show and prove who we are. Right now, we're kind of just riding coattails of a lot of guys that are in the NFL. Track record doesn't matter on
Hmm.
Saturday. So I need for these guys, you've got the experience. Why not show up? That's what's disappointing to me. I see all the adjustments that we can make as coaches and things that we want to see as fans. But man, I can't get off this player thing, man. And I'm looking at what the fuck going on in the locker room. Pardon my French, but I don't know. Like, I'm disappointed in what's going on to a man. Like, are y'all having discussions in the locker room about why aren't we performing up to task? What are seniors at?
That
Who's the
I was
leader
gonna
on the
I was
team?
gonna ask you that
Good
You know what I'm
earlier.
point.
saying? I don't
See, I
see
need
any
to
true
come back to
leadership.
that.
So I'm just trying to figure out where the leadership is and why it's not clear. And that conversation just bothers me.
JV, your thoughts? I was gonna bring that up earlier. Good segue. CA, where is the leadership on this team? I mean, I think we can all pick somebody from the past 4, 5, 6 years, but where the leadership on this team?
Well, apparently, coach, the folks that who thought were going to be taking that mantle aren't playing well themselves. It's hard. It's hard for you to demand. It's hard for you to demand more
Good call,
Boy,
JV.
that is true.
Good
That
when
is
point.
true.
when you aren't even out there stepping up. We know Carson isn't that guy. He's not the guy to jump in somebody's face. He's not the guy who's going to demand
Right.
better and demand more. Me personally, I thought that would come from a guy maybe like a Lovett who seemed like he wanted to be the guy this year going
Hmm.
into this season. I thought it would come from a guy like Malachi, who two-time All American at this point, and you're supposed to be able to look at him as a standard bearer on defense, and he's supposed to be the guy who demands the most from everybody on that defense. A Warren Brinson, a guy who came back, who we expected greater things from them, and we just don't see it. I don't see it. We definitely don't have any Nolan Smiths on this team. We definitely do not have any fire breathing guys who demand that, if it ain't right, then you get it right. Because we looking at you as hard as the coaches are. We just don't have that. And if we have it, we just are not seeing that. And again, I just go back to the fact that I can't look at anybody on that defense and say they're doing all that we expect them to do. So then that they can require somebody else to actually perform like they expect those guys to a
Right.
man.
Right. I think you hit on it, JV. The guys that we thought could be
Hmm.
leaders or should be aren't playing up to par, and it's hard to demand excellence from somebody when you're not giving your all and being excellent. Like we had Cedric Van Pran when we had him.
Yep.
Listen,
Yep.
Jared Wilson, physically, talent wise, play wise, for the most part, he's holding up his end of the bargain. Outside of a few times he was hurt this year, but he's just not that guy, that leader that we need on offense. And then on defense, those guys like what's my guy that plays guy he played for Green Bay, now he played star for us last year, just absolute dog, played nickel.
Yeah, Bullard.
Bullard. Oh
Bullard. Yeah.
yeah. Like
Hmm.
when you got
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
like he a straight dog. Like he ain't even really got to say nothing to you. He really, like, with the way he play, he just turn and look at you. You need to get it together. Like you say, like a Nolan Smith, like a
Yeah.
Kobe
Hey
Dean or
man,
something
We've
like
had a
that.
bunch of them.
we
We've
we
had a
use
bunch
we
of them
use the
over the
term
years.
That's
Right.
the term all
Okay.
the time. You know what I'm saying? We haven't used it much this year. We always said, man, it's a lot easier to be that guy when you're a special player.
Hmm.
And when you don't have no one who's special and who's not really walking the walk and talking the talk, it's hard to lead like that sometimes with the standard that's been set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the guys who
Mm-hmm.
we talking about, all these guys were. I always go back to it. They were special players, especially at the collegiate level.
But to that though,
Yeah.
Shorty, like I think for the most part, Malachi's been playing, good ball. But Malachi ain't a get in your face. At least he seemed like a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He don't seem like a get in your face type guy. Like even if somebody
Right.
his play, I think he's gotten enough in the bank that he can come to somebody and say, "Yo, man, pick up the tempo." But I don't think he that kind of guy, to be honest with you. That's just
Yeah.
what I would say. And he's a
And maybe
special
that's
guy.
what we have. Maybe that's just what we have overall. We just don't have that kind of guy defensively or offensively because, like,
Right.
we've just named quite a few guys from the last few years. And we've speaking of Van Pran. Remember we had his father on, obviously. Kendall Milton, another guy you
Right.
could tell had great leadership qualities. We
Malachi
just
never
don't
had to
seem
do
to
it.
have that with this team where we have great leaderships on either side of the ball. But quite naturally, a fifth year senior quarterback, that's who you generally would think as your leader. And we can just go back to our last quarterback with Stetson. We saw leadership qualities. We saw the swag on the sideline. He played with swag. The team played with swag. If he went out there and made a mistake, you know who was pissed off? Stetson was. And he would come back out there and he would make up for the mistakes and play two folds better. And we're just not getting that this year. And so I think overall, I think leadership might be the biggest piece that's missing this year from the team is the leadership piece.
Right. Coach O said, are you guys saying the dogs don't have any dogs? Not that we can see that are consistent. I would say that. And I think the fellas would agree. Some of them show up
Few more
and
Man,
players.
they dogs
we
sometime,
got
but
some dogs. We just, not to be honest, we just ain't got that, that
that
asshole, that player who's on the verge is like, all right, Coach might have to pull him to the side. He might
right.
We
pull him
need
to
we
the
need
side.
that
They
George
about to get
Pickens.
that flat. Yeah,
Hey,
you know
No,
what I'm
no, no, not
saying?
even that, man. We
Jared
ain't got
Jared
that
Carter.
N'Kobe Dean. We ain't got that N'Kobe
That's a
Dean
good call.
who clapping in my guy's face like get your ass going and come on this next play and then hit him on the head, tap him up and dap him up when he go and make that next play. We ain't got them guys out there because it looked like everybody trying to figure out what the hell they doing.
That's
It
That's
just
the issue.
looks
right. And while and listen, we get into that point of the show, we're gonna get our predictions. So if you're in the comments, put your predictions in there for this weekend. I think Shawty say we 8.5-point favorites. Shout out to Mama Allen. She say,
It been moving
sorry for all the
all
cussing,
week.
Mama Allen.
8
oh,
to
it
10
said
all week,
say
every
I
week.
need
She can handle
right.
it.
I need the guys to play football like they know football, play each quarter like they want to win. Go dogs. That's right. That's right. We
Go
know they
There we
dog.
got it,
go.
man.
Salute.
So one thing I did, I will give the credit for, and I hadn't seen it up until this point. A lot of people was confused about or didn't like the way Carson looked on the sideline during a captured moment on camera where he was smiling and Jaden Rashada was talking to him. Jaden Rashada daddy said Jaden was trying to pick his spirits up, whatever. The part I liked is in the interviews this week, Monroe Freeland basically told people to step off his quarterback. Like I hadn't seen that from anybody because I felt like they was kind of like, hey,
Monroe Freeland came around right in and lost his shit, and nobody touched him. Miss me, dog. Handle your business. Keep him off the ground. Don't do that. You ain't got nothing to do with what we do.
see
Now
how I
you
threw
better
that
take
alley
care of
up.
what's going on the field.
See how I threw
That's
that
the
alley up.
problem. What you on social media for? Worrying about what we say. We gonna say what we got to say, baby. You better
And he
get to
got
work.
tough off the field. He tough
Yeah,
off the field.
you get busy, dog. I don't hear that crap.
I like that.
You got 15 picks in the last 8 games, man. You got me, man. Bro,
Hey, just like Chris Paul, baby. I'm throwing alleys out here. CA out here slam
I knew
dunking
you were
them.
gonna do that. I don't know why you set me up.
Go get you one of them creature comforts, my guy. Get you one of them creature comforts, man.
I like it.
Who next out here,
Let
man?
go.
These jokers, boy.
Hey, right.
Can't
With that said, man, it's that score prediction time, man. Will, since he has been a good guest today in the building, he says Vols 34, Dogs 31. Vols score game winner on last play of the game. Feels like 16. Woo, that's tough right there. That's tough. That's a lot of points, though. I don't know. I think that's a lot of points. I'm going to start this thing off, man. I don't know if it's going to be that high, 34, 31. Oh, man, I'm going to say 24. 20.
Oh, y'all hollering 40. That shit over with.
Them days is gone, CA.
I'm going to say 24, 23. Dogs with a late drive sometime in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter to take the lead and
Oh,
hold
that's a
on to the lead.
stressful night, man.
24, 23. Q Cal, what you got, man? What you got?
Who we on? It's on me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm struggling, CA, to even get to that 20, man. I'm thinking like 1916.
You
Wow.
say
Look at this.
you say old school Kirby.
1916 Dogs. We're gonna get a late field goal to pull that thing off.
Mm. Hey, all right, we're gonna stay in the order. Hey, Shawty, what you got on it?
Hey man, I just looked at the line. It's 10 points over under 48 right now.
Hey, I was right on. I was right on.
Hey man, I don't know how to feel, man. We ain't had these conversations
Come on, get
in a
out your
long
feeling.
time.
Hold on. It hurt exactly. It hurt a little bit, don't
That's
it?
right. Hey, button it up and strap it up and let's play.
God damn it,
we, we, we,
24-21.
we haven't been this not confident in 4 years.
It's real now.
24-21 dogs at
That's
home.
right. That's right. Come on, JB, strap it up, man. Tell us what you got, dog. Show up to play for us.
Man, I got 31-27.
Hey, I'll take
All
that,
right,
baby.
Okay.
all
I'll
right.
take
Okay.
that. You tell me our offense scoring 31. I will take that. Oh my God. I don't care if they all
They get the
defensive
number
points.
3 defensive league. They number 3 in the league, number 2 in the league in defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, CA. Come through like the vet we know you is, man. Wrap us up.
Man, 23-17. You know, we're gonna have to fight for this one. Go Dogs.
Okay. All right.
hey,
All right.
that's right. We're gonna have to fight for this one, man. We listen, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. We appreciate you, Fred, man. Hey, subscribe to the channel, my guy.
Absolutely,
Come back,
Fred.
man. Hey, we like opposing fans that can have a level head coming here, you know what I'm saying, and talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody showing up on Facebook, everybody showing up on YouTube. We got Wheezy. Say 21-17 Dogs. Okay, I'll take that. Anybody else? Hina, what's going on?
What's
Hina
up, Hina?
showing up. We
Go
better
Dogs.
win. Go Dogs. You don't need
I
no
know that's
score.
right.
He ain't even got no score no
Just
more. He
get the
said just
dub.
win.
Just
Just
get
win.
the
See, the
dub.
ball
That's
said we ain't sounding too confident on here tonight.
hey, that's what a
We
good
beat
old
up a little
fashioned.
bit.
Right. That's what it. we
Hey,
like
but
that.
look,
We like
one
that
thing,
video of
These
Daisy Banks.
balls in the building.
and one thing I say about this on just real talk. I'm not making no excuses, but I think we do have the third or fourth toughest schedule in the nation.
Number one by the rankings
Is it that? So
overall.
okay, that's even
Right.
better. You get what I'm saying? No, I think Florida was harder than ours.
No, we're not after the rankings came out because we had because of our away games compared to their home games. That's
I
why.
mean, y'all strengthened my argument. Appreciate it.
Right.
So just to put things in perspective, I mean,
Yeah.
we still got
No, man, you
everything in
getting
front of us.
soft, man. No, man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, Charlie. No.
Right.
We the
Stat
top.
guy.
We the top dogs. I don't want to hear nothing about no tough schedule, man.
Hey, stat guy even more confident than JB. He said 31-21 Dogs. Man, that's a lot of points for two pretty good defenses. But I'll take it. I'm telling you. Listen,
I'll
man.
take it.
I need it.
Listen, man. We win 3-0. I'm gonna be drinking up. Yeah,
We moving on. Exactly. We're gonna move on.
right. We got the W's around here, dog.
And at that point, you still got everything ahead of you, so to speak.
Right. We keep everything ahead of us, and who knows? Hey, we went out. Y'all dogs might be able to get live for us in the first round. You know what I'm saying? We had that home game. You know what I mean?
Actually, be sweet.
That'll be. Hey, listen.
I kind of want that.
Right. That'll be that. Like CA said, that'll be that silver lining right there. Like we had up and down season. Then you get first round at home against an unsuspecting victim. Come on up in these hedges. And with that said, man, y'all always remember to respect these hedges. We appreciate everybody getting in here. We will not have a show unless Shawty, can you host next week? I can't come next Tuesday.
We'll have to figure that out in the meantime.
All right. Well, y'all make sure y'all turn on that bell notification, and so y'all don't miss
nothing. Got it.
E-Rob got to put some more. Right, he got to put some more.
He's gonna have to go to Starbucks.
He got to go to Starbucks.
Don't do my folk like that. Hold up now. I got 50 cents.
Shout out to our guy E-Rob, man. But we appreciate everybody for coming through, man. And hey, for my
BYU undefeated. BYU undefeated. You know, that's how. I mean, they went Indiana up there and almost
right. Hey, they got that big goose egg over there. That big.
That 12 looking tight, ain't it? That 12 looking tight, boy.
We had the toughest road schedule.
Yeah, we got the toughest road schedule for real. So
they just went out. We had a lot of business.
Just had a lot of business. I think everything else just let us in. That's all we do.
There you go.
So but I got E-Rob who was having some technical difficulties. CA Cool Cal. Shawty.
Let it be known the band will
It's your boy Coach R, man. Always go Dogs.
Go
Dogs.
Go Dogs.